What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Jose Show. Happy Monday. I hope that everyone is having a good day, and I hope that everyone had an amazing weekend. I surely did, because I got to go see the Jonas Brothers this past weekend over in LA, and it was so dope because they really killed it with their performances, and I felt like I was so close to them because I was sitting VIP, and I felt like I was about to interact with them, but unfortunately I didn't because they were performing. And I got to videotape them. I got to dance all night long, and I got to sing along with the Jonas Brothers all night long, and I even got some merch, and I even got to sit by some celebrities in the VIP section, which, by the way, I was fortunate enough into meeting these celebrities in the VIP section. One of them was Raven-Symoné, Miranda Madej, Frankie Jonas, which, by the way, also got to perform in the show earlier. And I got to take photos with them, and I was all smiles with them. It was definitely the best night of my life, and I wasn't even expecting to meet all those people in that show anyways. I was just expecting to be seeing the Jonas Brothers, and that was it. But I mean, the show was over in LA, so I believe it was highly expected that I was going to be meeting people at the show anyways that are famous. I think that it's so darn amazing too how the show was in an arena instead of in a stadium like 2 years ago, because I felt like this show was 1,000 times more intimate because of that, because arenas are smaller than stadiums. And honestly, I think that I had a way better time at this show because of that than I did 2 years ago when their show was over at the Dodger Stadium. So anyways, I had the best night of my life. I really want to relive that day, but unfortunately I can't, because I mean, the days go by and they go by. But one thing's for sure though, is that the next time the Jonas Brothers come to town for touring, I am definitely going to go to their show again because of how happy and how impressed I was with this past show. Oh my goodness. But anyways, Nick Jonas, Kevin Jonas, Joe Jonas, if you guys are watching this, I love you three. Y'all are amazing. I am a huge fan of you guys. Oh my God. And Frankie Jonas, you're also amazing. Raven-Symoné, you're also amazing. I love you guys as well. Miranda, you're amazing as well. Okay, but anyways, on to the first topic of the day. So let's talk about last night's VMA. So last night's VMAs were so dope because, I mean, we got to see performances from Sabrina Carpenter, Mariah Carey, Tate McRae, and so much more, and they all killed it in that stage last night. I have to be honest, because they really gave it their all with their vocals. They gave it their all with their performances, especially the one and only Mariah Carey that was just there to impress us as the usual. And honestly, she was serving looks too, with that long hair of hers and that beautiful dress of hers, and she looked so young last night. I mean, the woman doesn't even look over 40. She looks like she's 35 or something, even though she is like 55 right now. And what I'm also noticing is that she was like definitely giving it her all towards the audience. The audience was definitely impressed with her. The audience was cheering on to Mariah. And I believe that this is like the first time in like so many years that I get to see this much hype towards Mariah Carey. I mean, I've seen so much hype towards Mariah Carey for so many years now, but I feel like now I've seen more hype towards her, and I believe the reason to why is because Mariah Carey was in that stage at the VMAs last night, and she was, I believe, performing one of her songs, which was Type Dangerous. And by the way, it's a really good song, and it's a really amazing jam of the summer, by the way. And also, what I noticed was that she not only got to perform on stage last night, but she also got to receive the Vanguard Award last night by the one and only Ariana Grande, which to me was very iconic because Ariana Grande is a huge fan of hers. And Ariana Grande, I mean, come on now, she is an amazing singer just like Mariah Carey, and Ariana has collabed with Mariah Carey for a few songs already anyways, and I believe that Mariah and Ariana are really good friends too. So it was just so darn iconic, man, especially the way that Ariana got to deliver that award towards Mariah Carey when Mariah Carey got to receive that award. Oh my goodness, man. I think that it's just so darn amazing just having to see female artists support other female artists, especially when it comes to Mariah Carey and Ariana Grande. Big time, man. And what I'm also noticing here is, how Mariah Carey was just so passionate and she was just so happy and she was just so, honest and raw last night as she was giving out that speech when she received that award. And I am so glad that she was so raw and she was so honest in that speech, because we have been needing to hear all of that rawness and all of that honesty from Mariah Carey and her speech last night while receiving the award. And I think that honestly, with us listening to all of that, we were able to hear the realness. We were able to know Mariah Carey a bit better because of that. And I'm glad, because we've been needing to meet Mariah Carey a bit better anyways. So anyways, there's also that. And let's talk about the fact that Ariana Grande got to win big at last night's VMAs. Ariana Grande got to win Video of the Year for her video Brighter Days Ahead, and Ariana Grande got to win for Best Pop for her video Brighter Days Ahead, which by the way was highly deserved because that video was so darn artistically amazing. Even though I believe it was a long video, it was so artistically amazing just having to see all of the visuals in one video from, I believe, a few of her songs from her deluxe of her album Eternal Sunshine, which by the way the deluxe was released back in March. And she looked so good, and she looked so like herself in that video. And what I liked about the video too was, I believe there was some scenes where Ariana looked old and she looked kind of wrinkly and she had gray hair, I believe. And I believe it was just a part of a transition or an evolution towards Ariana Grande in a way in a video on how she goes through in life and so forth, and how she's managing everything that she has to go through in life. That's what I definitely loved, because that really came to show that Ariana Grande was just, okay, well, this is crazy life right here that I'm going through, but this is me. And here are the songs that I am introducing to you on, basically showing you that these songs are basically highly reflecting on how much life goes by. And also, she's basically trying to tell us a storyline with this video of Brighter Days Ahead, which is amazing. So it's so darn well done, and it's so darn well interesting. And I am glad that she did a video that is like that. Okay, we've been needing a video like that. Okay, so with all of that being said, I believe the video could even be eligible for an Oscar, because it was a short film and it is artistically done. And of course, the one and only Christian Breslauer was the one, or Matt Breslauer, I believe that's his name. He was the one in charge of the whole entire video, and that same producer, by the way, is the producer that got to produce her music video for Supernatural, I believe, the music video for Yes and I believe. He also got to produce the music video for We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love, I believe, as well. He's a very friendly person, and by the way, he was also up in that stage receiving the award with Ariana Grande when Ariana Grande was up in that stage. And I believe that he was also very happy. He was also very excited, just like Ariana Grande was, of course, when Ariana Grande won. And but anyways, Sabrina Carpenter, she won for Best Pop Artist, and Mariah Carey got to win for Best R&B Song for her song Type Dangerous. And who else? I also noticed that Ricky Martin got to win an award last night as well. I believe it was for Best Latin Music Video or for Best Latin Song. And then another artist that got to win last night was Megan Moroney for Best Country, which, by the way, I love Megan Moroney. She's a new artist. She's amazing. And then I also noticed that I believe I believe it was either Sabrina Carpenter or it was Justin Bieber. It was one of those two that won. I'm not sure, but anyways, I do know that for Best Collaboration, Lady Gaga won, along with Bruno Mars for Die With A Smile. That I do know, which I believe was amazing because that song was also really good. So anyways, with all of that being said, last night's VMAs were amazing, man, and they definitely were better than last year's VMAs, especially because Ariana Grande was there. And yeah, we also got to see better performances, in my opinion, because I noticed that Sabrina Carpenter killed it in her performance, and Mariah Carey killed it in her performance as well. And I also noticed that Tate McRae killed it with her performance, and I believe that LL Cool J did an amazing job being the host, which, by the way, I sent all of my flowers to him. Okay, he is amazing. He is really down to earth. He is really himself. And man, he looked really good last night in that outfit that he was wearing. I think even with the glasses that he was wearing too. So yeah, Doja Cat was also really cool too with what she was performing too. I got to watch half of the performance, and she was looking a little bit provocative, but she was looking really sexy too. The hair though was really unexpected though, because that hair that she had on last night's performance, it made her look like Joan Rivers. I mean, she looked really good, but at the same time she looked like Joan Rivers. And I'm not being shady, I'm not being, mean or anything. I'm just saying that she looks like Joan Rivers, and Joan Rivers would look really good with the hair anyways. So anywho, yeah, so that is my take on last night's VMAs, and I really hope that you guys enjoyed last night's VMAs. I was surprised that the show was picked up on CBS this time instead of it just being picked up on MTV, because usually this show is on MTV, and usually when we all know, by the way, that MTV by the way, is the music television network where basically the VMAs was born, but I believe that they wanted to pick it up to CBS in order to get more views, probably, along with simultaneously airing it with MTV last night, which, by the way, it wasn't just simultaneously airing in those two networks, it was also live from coast to coast at 5 p.m. Pacific time, and then 8 p.m. Eastern time. It was amazing, which I thought was amazing because of the fact that I was able to watch the show live instead of having to wait until 8 p.m. to watch the whole entire freaking show, which to me would have been so darn frustrating. Okay, but anywho, yeah, that is my take on last night's VMAs. Now on to the next topic. Now, Charlie Sheen is opening up about his wild past, because Charlie Sheen is opening up about his past sexual encounters with other men, and he says it's liberating to tell his story. So, in an upcoming Netflix documentary about his life, Charlie says he decided to try something new, and he started having sex with men after years of banging women. So, according to People, Charlie explains it like this in the doc. I flipped the menu over the interviewer, then asked Charlie how it feels to talk publicly about having sex with men for the first time, and he responds, liberating, it's effing liberating. So Charlie claims he started having sex with men when he was in the throes of drug addiction, namely when he was smoking crack. So apparently he says his crack use started that's where it was born or sparked, and in whatever chunks of time that I was off the pipe trying to navigate that, trying to come to terms with it, where did that come from, why did that happen, and then just finally being like, so what, some of it was weird, a lot of it was effing fun, and life goes on. So Charlie also told Michael Strahan on Good Morning America he was a sex addict at the time, and he kept his tryst with men secret because he was being extorted, and he felt it was easier to pay to keep it quiet in the hopes it eventually went away. After a while, he says he felt like he was being held hostage. Okay, so at some point during his drug-fueled sex romps, Charlie contracted HIV, and in 2015, he went public with his diagnosis. In an interview on the Today Show, he says he stopped using using drugs in 2015 and has been completely sober for 8 years. This is really insane, ladies and gentlemen, that Charlie Sheen had sex with men, because we have all been expecting for this man to only have sex with women, because we all know that Charlie Sheen is straight. But the thing is that he was doing drugs at the time, and he was having a sex addiction at the time, which was the reason to why he ended up having sex with men at the time. And now that he's over here saying that it was fun and liberating having to have sex with men, it's even more crazy because of the fact that never did I imagine, especially that he would go off and say something like that. I was actually expecting for him to say, you know what, I felt like I was having a really good time, but you know, right now, I feel like that was really stupid of me to be having sex with men, because at the end of the day, I am not gay, I am straight, and at the end of the day, I believe that what I did was so darn weird, you know, because of the fact that he is a straight guy. I was definitely expecting for him to say something at least like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, I feel like he was like, well, you know what, screw it. I mean, I feel like I'm this kind of guy that I don't need to fall in love with a man anyways in order to have sex. And also, I was doing drugs, but at the same time, I was still having a really good time having sex with a guy and with several guys at the time. So, hey, I mean, I might as well even just say it out in the public anyways, instead of just being afraid to, after, you know, feeling extorted and threatened for so many years, of having to say that out loud anyways. So I believe that Charlie Sheen is really coming from a really interesting, twisted mind here, where he's like wanting to reveal everything already on what he went through, regardless of what people are going to think on what he went through. And I mean, that's fine, because at the end of the day, he is just being realistic here. And you know, God forbid that all of this comes to light without him saying anything, because of the fact that, you know, in life, the truth eventually comes to light. And, you know, Charlie Sheen, man, he is like 60-something years old anyways. So, I mean, the man is already over here caring less anyways. And, you know, there is this saying that the older that you get, the lesser you care about the things that you went through in the past, that you are able to say it all anyways. So, he was like, okay, fine, whatever. It is what it is. And now here I am, drug-free, and I'm clean, and I'm no longer having sex with men, and I'm over here just being calm, and that's it. All right. Now, the fact that he got to contract HIV, to me, was actually a consequence for him having too much fun with men in the past. Okay. And it would even be a consequence even if he would have sex with women too, because I mean, hey, it could go for both ways. Okay. Because sex is sex. But anywho, I believe that now that he got the HIV, I believe he was like, okay, I definitely need to calm down, and I need to definitely, you know, be like, okay, I need to be clean, and I need to just, you know, really make sure that I am okay. Because if Charlie Sheen would have continued on with this whole entire sex thing, trust me, I'm pretty sure that the man would be either in the grave right now, or maybe he would, I don't know, be like extremely sick right now or something. I don't know. Because of the fact that HIV is not a freaking joke. It's a disease that is just there killing you softly. It's bad, you know. I'm not sure though if Charlie Sheen got treated for HIV or if he is HIV free now, because I think that HIV is permanently on you, I think. I'm not sure. I am not a doctor. But what I can say, though, is that I am so glad that Charlie Sheen is now calm after what he went through in the past here. Okay? Now, to all of those men that Charlie Sheen got to sleep with in the past, I believe that all of these men were so confused at the time. They might have thought that Charlie Sheen was actually gay and that Charlie Sheen actually wanted to have a thing with them. And that Charlie Sheen was going to be their husband and this and that. That's what I think, because, you know, at the end of the day, it was sex. Okay, it was sex. So anywho, Charlie Sheen, that's all I have to say, and be careful. Alright, now on to the next topic. Now let's talk about Candace Cameron Bure. So Candace Cameron Bure is hitting back at online trolls by hitting delete. So the Full House star yanked a swimsuit snapped from her Instagram after the comments spiraled into body shaming, later explaining on Instagram stories that while the one-piece shot was meant to capture her soaking up the last of summer, the backlash quickly soared the vibe. So it wasn't about the suit or my body, she said, but the comments turned into endless chatter about my body. It wasn't worth it, so I took it down. She shared the message over a shot of herself in a yellow sundress looking unbothered. Okay, so of course this isn't the first time Candace has clapped back. In 2018, she famously fired off at a critic who claimed she looked heavier than her husband, writing, "If a 25-inch waist looks big to you, then you're looking through an altered lens, be well." Okay, so this is getting out of control that people are over here body shaming poor Candace Cameron Bure, because I believe that enough is enough of this stupidity. I think that we need to change. We need to uplift people, because the more that we uplift people, the more that we are going to make people happy about themselves, good about themselves. And I think that we need to do that towards Candace Cameron Bure and many other women out there in the entertainment industry, especially people in general. Okay, like, I think that it's really easy for people to go off and criticize and judge from the comfort of their own home on their smartphones, saying that someone looks ugly or someone looks fat and this and that, instead of saying nice things. And I think that these are the same people, by the way, that aren't confident with themselves and they want to spread that insecurity towards the other person. And let's also be realistic here, is that it's these same people that need Jesus in their own lives, because these people are nothing but people that are filled with a bunch of hate. Okay? If these people were filled with a bunch of love, of course they would be spreading love towards Candace Cameron Bure, and they would be saying that she looks gorgeous and so forth. And, you know, it's just one of those things, ladies and gentlemen, where I believe that we live in such a very awful society where, unfortunately, we are surrounded by so many people that unfortunately feel like they have the authority to do whatever the heck they want to do with us, by down talking to us and by body shaming us and so forth. And that is what's really putting us down as a society, unfortunately. And what really makes me even more mad here is that, you know, when somebody is trying to make themselves feel good by posting something on social media on how they look and so forth, unfortunately, you know, it's those haters that ruin that vibe for you. They ruin the moment for you. You know, like, they don't want to see you shine, basically. They just want to see you down. They just want to see you suffer. They just want to, you know, see you very insecure about yourself, you know. So it's just very something to be angering about. And I really do side with Candace Cameron Bure in all levels. Okay, I love Candace Cameron Bure. She is an amazing person. She's an amazing actress. She's an amazing host. She's an amazing everything. Okay, so anyways, Candace Cameron Bure, you just keep on doing you. And if I were you, Candace, I would continue to post those fiery pics of you in a bikini, or fiery pics of you doing whatever, because you look good, girl. Okay, just ignore the haters, or what you can do is just filter your comments or limit your comments, you know, because Instagram has that thing where you can just shut off all of those negative comments. I'm just giving you that suggestion to you, okay? Love you, Candace. But anyways, that is it for today's show, ladies and gentlemen. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's lovely show, The Jose Show. Till next time, and peace.